You are in a reality tunnel right now, and odds are that you're trapped in one. Every single person on Earth is in a reality tunnel, but hardly anyone knows it, and most become trapped in their reality tunnel until the day they die. Becoming aware of your reality tunnel will allow you to radically transform your life and become aware of the true nature of reality. Not only am I going to show you how to break free from a restrictive reality tunnel, but I'm going to show you how to switch between them as well. So, let's learn how to break free and change channels. If you're new here, my name is Morgue, and we are a new consciousness, a new way of thinking, here to create a new humanity and a new Earth. So join our War of the Mind and help us wake up the world by subscribing right now. And my content is controversial, so make sure that you hit the bell so that you know when something new comes out. Not only are you and every person on Earth in a reality tunnel, but every single person's reality tunnel is different. So, what the fuck is a reality tunnel? Well, the term was coined by psychologist and psychedelic experimenter Timothy Leary and expanded upon by Robert Anton Wilson. The concept of a reality tunnel shows that every single person filters and interprets the same reality differently. And so what this means is that even though everyone may exist in the same objective world, their subjective filter of that world causes them to see it in a radically different way from how it truly is. So to get a better grasp of what this means, I want you to realize that the world around you is not what it seems. For example, the human eye detects less than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum, the portion of visible light. You would have a completely different conception of reality if your senses could detect the gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet, and infrared rays that exist all around you. But your eyes just can't see them. They're oblivious to well over 99% of the waves in existence. So even with this small example, we can clearly see that how we interpret and experience reality is far from how reality actually is. We're seeing only a tiny, filtered, fractured, distorted version of reality. But a reality tunnel goes much further than this. Not only is a reality tunnel the version of existence that you experience caused by the filtered interpretation of data received by your senses, but most importantly, it's a constellation of mental paradigms, beliefs, and schemas. These are models of reality, ways of thinking, and ways of subjectively organizing information about the world. For example, let's take two people, let's say a scientific materialist and a Christian, and compare the way they view the creation of the world. The scientific materialist will believe in the Big Bang and billions of years of evolution, while the Christian will believe God created the universe in 7 days. Even though these two people exist in the same objective world, the way they view that world is 100% different. They're each in their own reality tunnel. Their Christian and materialist beliefs are what form their tunnels. This isn't anything to take lightly or be dismissive about. The difference between individuals' reality tunnels are so dramatic, it's as though they're living in completely different worlds. Let's look at another example. Let's say we have a scientific materialist, a Christian, and a Buddhist, all looking at an apple on a table. The materialist will see the apple as a collection of atoms resulting from evolution. The Christian will see a creation of God, and the Buddhist will see it as illusion, Maya. Do you see that each one interprets and believes this object as something completely different? Yet they all give the same word to it. They call it an apple. So, since they all have the same word applied to it, apple, they all more or less think that they have the same concept in mind, when in reality they are worlds apart. The example with the apple might seem trivial, but imagine the same situation with the concept of God. Your understanding of God will be completely dependent on your reality tunnel. And we can see that throughout history, countless deaths have occurred because of people's conflicting ideas about God due to their reality tunnels. Now, I've been using religion as an example because it's easy to see, but reality tunnels are a constellation of all all your beliefs, paradigms, and schemas. And so this applies to ideas about politics, race, gender, sex, and every issue that you could possibly imagine. This is why there is so much conflict in the world. It's because people exist in different subjective realities, and those realities are clashing. All major atrocities in the world, such as war, violence, homophobia, sexism, and racism, all stem from incompatible reality tunnels conflicting with one another. Now, reality tunnels aren't a bad thing in themselves. They're what allow us to navigate the world. The problem is people aren't aware that they exist and have a reality tunnel. And so they become trapped in a limiting tunnel. They've been conditioned since birth into a certain constellation of views and patterns and ways of thinking, and they'll never stray from those patterns. It's a map that they've been given on how to navigate life, but the problem is that for most people, the map they've been given is nothing like how life actually is, objectively, so they're going in the completely wrong direction. To break free from a restrictive reality tunnel, you must become aware that you're in one in the first place and then actively modify and transform it. What is higher consciousness? One way to understand it is that it's about becoming aware of your reality tunnel, learning how to rationally modify it, and learning how to switch between reality tunnels. So let's break each of these down. So higher consciousness is all about mind thinking about mind, what's known as metacognition. Most people have no idea that they're in a reality tunnel. So the first step is to realize that you are in a reality tunnel, becoming aware of it. This is metacognition. You're thinking about thought. As you become aware of your reality tunnel, you can also learn how to change it. You're now modifying your own consciousness. Instead of following a program instilled in you by external influences since birth, by modifying your reality tunnel, you're becoming your own programmer. The goal is to constantly be examining your reality tunnel for inconsistencies, contradictions, and errors, and to eventually create a reality tunnel that matches objective reality, so that your subjective map matches objective existence itself. You also want to be able to learn how to switch between other reality tunnels so that you can understand how other people think and be able to communicate with them. If you're trying to get across an idea to someone, if you try to explain it from your reality tunnel, they'll never understand. You have to explain things from their perspective, or at the very least, begin there if you're trying to get them to open their mind. You have to speak in the language of their tunnel. You'll notice that most religious people are convinced by stories and emotions, whereas most scientific materialists are convinced by empirical facts. That's because they're in a different reality tunnel. The more you're able to see things from their tunnel, the better you'll be at communicating with them. Now, people often tell me that I'm good at explaining complicated subjects. Well, this is because I've learned to switch between many different reality tunnels. And so when I explain a concept, I'm not explaining it from my tunnel, but from the tunnel of my viewers. That's also why I might release multiple videos on the same subject, but they'll be explained in a completely different way. Some explanations will make sense to some people and not to others. That's because I'm creating different videos for multiple reality tunnels. When I'm explaining the nature of reality, I might do it mathematically. Other times I might do it in terms of music or stories or even passages from the Book of the Dead. This is precisely because I'm trying to bring everyone to the same objective viewpoint, the same objective page, while communicating to different subjective reality tunnels. I can't stress enough how dramatically different the world is when viewed from different reality tunnels. Unless you've switched tunnels, it's almost impossible to understand. You see, I grew up in a strict fundamentalist Christian household, and breaking free from that tunnel was like stepping into a completely new reality. Everything was drastically different in every way. I recently released a video called 100% Proof That God Doesn't Exist. And in this video, I proved that the fundamentalist Christian God can't exist. Notice that the fundamentalist Christian conception of God is completely different than, let's say, how Einstein viewed God, or how a Hindu views God, or a New Ager, etc. But my video was specifically about proving that the fundamentalist Christian conception of God does not exist. Now, I had many people comment on that video saying things like, well, that's not what God is actually energy, or something like that. And these people thought that they were enlightened for saying that. But you see, a truly enlightened person, someone of a higher consciousness, would realize I was talking about a specific interpretation of God. That is to say, the point of my video was deconstructing the Christian reality tunnel, which has a specific set of attributes applied to their specific conception of God. Higher consciousness is all about becoming aware of your reality tunnel, being able to modify it rationally to match objective reality, and learning how to switch reality tunnels so that you can better communicate with others. But how exactly do you modify your reality tunnel to match objective reality, especially since conflicting reality tunnels are the cause for all the violence and hatred in the world? Well, we have to find a common underlying thread that unites all reality tunnels together. So what is that underlying objective thread? It's mathematics. Why is it mathematics? Because mathematics is the true language of existence. This is a mathematical reality. This is why mathematics is universally and eternally true. 2 + 2 = 4 at all times. It doesn't matter how much you want it to equal something else. You can't change it by praying or casting a spell. It is eternally true. It is objectively true. This is because existence is mathematical frequency. So by understanding this objective truth, we can use ontological mathematics to know for certain this is a mathematical reality of mind, a unified system that we are all in together. So by basing all of our reality tunnels on reason and mathematics, we can know that we live in a collective domain of mind and use that objective foundation to create a harmonious world free from intolerance and hate. The philosopher Hegel understood that reality is an evolving mind coming to know itself. He knew existence was a system of evolving reality tunnels that he called the idea. Existence is a cosmic mind that generates a mathematical dream world. But just like you forget you're dreaming when you have a dream at night, the cosmic mind forgets its dreaming as well. It enters the collective dream world through a multiplicity of subjective viewpoints, minds. And each one of these minds has a way of viewing reality. This is its reality tunnel. When a mind comes into contact with information or an experience that contradicts its reality tunnel, it updates itself and rearranges its tunnel to integrate this new information. This process is known as the dialectic. But only the most advanced minds are capable of updating their reality tunnels. Some advanced minds incarnate into the physical world for the purpose of bringing humanity to a new level of consciousness. In other words, they come to this world to install a software update, so to speak, to get humanity to collectively step into a higher reality tunnel. They've been described as gods, aliens, or fallen angels, and stories have been told about how they brought new knowledge to humanity. This is what my work is about and what we are doing as a collective. We are here to bring humanity to a new level of consciousness. Look around you. The world is in chaos and disarray because the reality tunnels of humanity all conflict. They have no common thread to unite them. Look around at all the discordance, the hatred, the division. Humanity desperately needs unity. And unity will only come when they base their reality tunnels on an objective truth, and that is that logic, reason, and mathematics reveals that we are a multiplicity of minds that are subjective nodes of one mind. Right now, humanity acts like a brain that's divided against itself, a brain that doesn't know that it is a brain where all of the individual neurons refuse to work together. A harmonious experience will only occur when the neurons do work together. Humanity must realize that they are all subjective nodes of a cosmic mind, the universe, and that we are all in this together. This isn't any kind of faith, but can be known mathematically, since this is a mathematical reality. We are all on a dialectical journey of coming to self-knowledge, and all the hatred, racism, violence, and sexism can disappear as soon as everyone realizes that we are on this journey together and ceases to hate and kill each other for trivial reasons based on outdated and conflicting reality tunnels. Even though everyone may have a different reality tunnel, those reality tunnels must be united with the same basis, based on reason that incorporates the truth that we are nodes of a unified system. Only then will our reality tunnels become compatible with each other instead of conflicting and leading to violence, racism, and hate. We, as a collective, are the first to step into this new, united level of consciousness, and we're here to raise the rest of humanity up with us. We are a system based on the objective mathematical code of existence itself that is constantly, dialectically self-updating until it will perfectly match objective reality. Join us and help us create a unified society of the divine. Now, I want to note that even though Leary and Robert Anton Wilson have some interesting ideas, I certainly don't agree with everything that they say. They get a lot wrong, so keep that in mind. But nonetheless, the idea of reality tunnels is powerful. So, are you aware of your reality tunnel? Are you able to switch channels and understand how others think and view the world? Tell me in the comments below. Like and share this video, and if you want to know more about how we exist in a unified mathematical reality, watch this video here. Join our War of the Mind by subscribing now, and a big shout out to all my supporters on Patreon. Consider supporting on Patreon and get access to our secret live streams. My name is Morgue, and I am Hyperion. Ad Astra, to the stars.